Hello. How's it going? Oh my gosh, this is real. We're online.
We are on the Twitches.
On the Twitches.
On all the lines.
Things are happening. Welcome to Dragon Talk. I am Greg Tito, and I am, as always, joined by
Adam Green.
Falling Avernus. I'm
literally in hell right now.
It just fell right behind you. Did you know that?
Of course it did.
Of course.
Of course.
Sticky tack is like the perfect thing to do all of the set dressing with. I don't know if you knew that.
That's what we put everything together with. It's sticky tack and duct tape, pretty much.
I wish we had duct tape. Do we have any duct tape? We could put it
some
back
gaff tape, but I think it's a little bit too late now.
I do like some gaff tape, for sure. Well, Shelly Mazanoble is dealing with some kid issues right now, so unfortunately she won't be able to be here for this live recording. But fortunately, we have a couple of folks stepping up. So this is Pelham Green.
Hi, everybody.
You see him many times in the chat doing lots of fun stuff, making all of the video happen in the background for this broadcast as well as many other broadcasts.
So today I'll be making the video happen from the foreground.
Right.
I've got some buttons in front of me, so we'll press them and they'll do stuff.
You're like Robin from the Stern Show. Remember when she was basically the producer, but then she kind of morphed
on the show.
Yeah. That's basically you're just like
just like Robin. We just need a Beetlejuice and we're good
to go. We'll have some wonderful calling guests from that show pretty soon. Oh gosh.
Get out of Howard Stern.
How is everybody doing? We are doing this hour here mostly as a way to chat with you folks, and then I realized I haven't actually put up the chat yet, so let me do that so we can have it going on. We're going to do an hour here, just talking through some fun stuff that's happened and maybe interacting with you folks, and then interviewing Alice Cleaver at 1 p.m. Pacific time here on the Dragon Talks. And then at 2 p.m., Mr. Jeremy Crawford is coming in, and we were going to record a Sage Advice, but instead we're going to have him do some intros and outros because he was, not only super instrumental in everything we were doing during D&D Live, as well as many of the products that we've got coming out around D&D Live. But he was also honored by something really cool last night here in Seattle by the Puget Sound Business Journal, which I've got, kind of their promotional copy thing right here, and then I'll open it up to where Mr. Jeremy Crawford's got like a nice little spread.
Centerfold Jeremy Crawford.
This is him. This is it. We're going to talk to him, about this because it is, of course, an amazing month for Pride, and. Oh, good! It finally all the way fell down. I'm glad.
Oh, good. That's
right. Yeah, there was like the other shoe was going to drop eventually.
We got 2 minutes out of that.
Yeah,
it's a great bit.
It's a great bit. We'll do it again. We'll put it back up with sticky tack later on.
Snap Havoc says Pelham's charisma score is greater than Tito's charisma score.
Ooh, what? I don't know what that score is.
Fighting words. I don't know.
Yeah. But it's very awesome, and so we'll talk through with Jeremy on the intro as well as all of the fun stuff that's going on in D&D world. So look forward to that. That's from 2 to 3 p.m. And then, of course, he said we might try to record a short Sage Advice segment, but we all know those words do not go together very often. So
there's a longie with that one.
There's a lot of longies. Every single time we're like, this will be like a 5-minute conversation, and we'll go on to the next topic, and then 45 minutes later, we're still on it, and there's still more to say. So we won't probably be doing a Sage Advice segment today, although, I don't know, we'll see. We'll see how things go. We need to get it, of course, to Binwin Plays here at 3 p.m. Pacific time, so I don't want to cut into that by having us go longy.
Stay shorty.
How are you doing, Pelham?
Doing pretty good.
Yeah?
Doing pretty good.
You said you were in hell. You do not like being under these hot
I'm
lights?
no longer in hell, I suppose, now that Avernus has descended to the floor of the studio. But yeah, not usually in front of the lights, typically behind them. So yeah, different experience in front of the cameras.
Is it hot?
A little bit, yeah.
You're in hell?
Yeah.
Little warmy?
Little warmy.
Nice. So we, a little bit behind the scenes. Pelham is always here making the broadcast go live and does all the switching. And now you have like an actual push button thing here.
Got my push buttons.
Here, turn around so people can actually see the buttons.
Yeah, that's
can
true.
You do that?
I've got some buttons.
buttons. Who's got the button?
Actually see that.
It's what is it? Elgato Stream Deck?
It's Elgato Stream Deck. And if anyone from Elgato Stream Deck is out there, we like your products. Send us more, please.
Shout out to Elgato, which does not mean the cat,
No,
or does it?
it means Twitch.
Really?
No, it means the cat.
Is that an actual? Yeah, I don't know that where that comes from. We'll have to get an Elgato person here on.
let us know
on the interview. Make it happen. Oh no, it's I like that.
Oh no,
TK is putting a Y after every single adjective. I guess is the word.
Dragon Talk tends to spawn words with Y's at the end of them.
Do not say
The
schedule.
forbidden word.
Elwarius can confirm it means the cat. Thanks, Mario. Now, the question remains, though, is that where the brand Elgato comes from? Because it's one word in the brand, right? It's not two words. It is the cat. But I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. Maybe you know, Mario, and you can let us know. But thanks. And there's Brian Cortijo. Hi, Brian. How are you? Good to see you. Brian is I don't know if it's okay to tell anybody this, but we used to play. I did this during D&D News, so I guess it's already out there. We used to play together back in New York. So hi, Brian. Nice to see you again in the chats. Yes. So in addition to having the Puget Sound Business Journal, which I'll bring out when Jeremy is here, I did have some show and tell things. So Pelham and I both received one of these.
We did.
These are very cool. I don't know. What do you guys think they are? What do you think this is? Can you do a zoom in? Is that possible?
No, I have to be over there to do the zoom in.
We can't just use your mind.
Unfortunately not. No, we do not have the technology quite
Go
yet.
gadget arms. Go over to the control. Just use Mage Hand. It's less than 5 pounds of
We can
pressure.
do a zoom later.
Yeah. So these are badges for Hell Riders. The Hell Riders were a group from El Terrell that went into Hell. We talked about this with Adam Lee when he was last here for Lore You Should Know. Great story and a kind of a prelude, or at least a background kind of information for what's happening in Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus. And I don't think I'm spoiling anything by saying that a facsimile or a version of this will be in the Beetle and Grimm's Platinum Edition for Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus. I don't know if it'll be this exact one, but we received this from the folks at Beetle and Grimm's. For being awesome, I think was the term.
Yeah, it was a very nice kind of pre-descent dinner that we had with them. It was lovely.
Yeah, it was really cool, and it was a thank you to getting their company off the ground. It was an anniversary of when they had pushed the button a year ago before the Stream of Many Eyes for their first Platinum Edition box, and so it was really cool. And I believe you wore it all weekend long at D&D Live.
Yeah. It's got some heft to it.
It does. Yeah, you had it on that awesome jacket, right?
Yeah.
Where did you get that jacket, by the way?
That was Nordstrom. Yeah.
It seems a very like D&D like heavy jacket though.
Yeah, and for folks who haven't seen it, it's like dragons and flames and skulls, nice bomber print.
Yeah. Who would have thought that Nordstrom would have been the one who's like, we're not going to make a real D&D licensed product, but it's basically.
We'll do pretty close.
Yeah, exactly. Good stuff. It looked good, and it looked even better with this badge on it. Fun stuff. We do, of course, have as Mario says, that jacket was all the rage. It really was. We have our soul coins too. I promise not to put them in my mouth for the next 5 minutes at least. Maybe after that, while we try to get some stuff going on here.
If you receive a promotional soul coin from us, there's a 1 in 5 chance it's been in Greg's mouth.
Just roll a 5-sided die, and that'll be the chance that you got the special mouth coin. I showed it to my daughters that someone had made, or it was Lisa Chen. Thank you for making that amazing GIF of me putting this in my mouth, and I showed it to my daughter, and then she was like, "Oh, does that mean that I can put it in my mouth?" To which I said, "No, you cannot."
Do what I say, not what I do.
Exactly. Mostly because her mouth is about the size of this whole thing, and I was like, "Oh, no, I can only do it because I didn't actually touch it with any of the parts of my mouth that could transfer germs And I did not have the same confidence that she would do that. And I don't even know. This is an actual soul coin, except it's not. This is from our friends at Beamdog, who created this coin in to promote the Siege of Dragonspear DLC that they put out for the enhanced edition of Baldur's Gate 1, I believe, or did it use the BG2 engine? I don't remember. So this was awesome. This was an inspiration token. So thank you, Trent, Oster, and the rest of the Beamdog crew. You inspired me to make a similar coin, which it does look a little bit different. This has got the symbol of Baal on this side. This is the soul coin from the Descent. This is the soul coin that was used to promote Shadowspear Castle. No, that was true. Dragonspear.
Siege of Dragonspear.
Siege of Dragonspear, and there's no castle involved in it whatsoever. Well, there is actually, but never mind. So this is what the actual soul coin looks like, and then of course this is the symbol for or the logo for the Siege of Dragonspear castle on that side. So I mentioned Beamdog. We got some news for all those things.
Oh yeah,
yeah, not necessarily. Well, for Baldur's Gate.
We do have some news from Beamdog as well.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 Enhanced Editions are heading to consoles.
That's right. Very soon.
Very soon.
Those
Not
two.
already.
No, I think in this month, right? In June?
This month, yeah.
Yeah. If only there was a document that had that information on it.
May not have that in there.
You son of a...
I know.
Wait, I'm not searching for Siege of Dragonspear. That's the wrong thing to search for. We'll find that out. But there's also some other Baldur's Gate news out there.
It is.
What do you think it is, Pelham?
I think it's pretty exciting. Our partners at Larian yesterday announced Baldur's Gate 3 coming soon.
Yeah, it was a big surprise to us.
Yeah.
We had no
idea it was coming. Haven't been keeping that secret for years or anything.
It does feel like years.
It has been years.
It has been years. Well, it's at least been more than 1 year.
That's true.
I think it's been like a year and...
About a year plus.
I want to say between 1 and 2 years. But the work on it has been extended beyond that. Mm-hmm. But, we don't always get clued in on all that stuff. But we at least have known about it I think 2 years.
It's been a while. Yeah,
I think you're right. Because it was when we were in the downstairs when our offices were getting shifted around.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been privy to some stuff that folks have not seen yet, and it's very, very exciting.
Well, look at you just dropping.
There is more stuff than the stuff you have seen. Can confirm.
Ooh, now, gosh, everyone's going to want to know those things.
That's true. I hope everybody's seen the trailer. It's pretty awesome, pretty gruesome in certain parts. But yeah, I think it captures ceramorphosis pretty well.
I'm so glad you pronounced that correctly. Ceramorphosis.
Morphosis.
Morphosis? Or like morphosis?
There's a great bit about this, and Larian just released their first community blog post today on YouTube. Check it out if you get a chance, but there's definitely a bit where Mike Merles corrects Sven from Larian on the correct pronunciation, so... It is certainly out there, and it's good stuff.
It is good stuff all around. Do we have the trailer to show?
We do indeed. Do you want to roll the trailer?
I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you want to? Most of you have probably already seen the trailer, but just in case you haven't, let's go ahead and throw it out there so you guys can see it. It's only about a minute and a half. I do want to say it is gross. So if you do have, kind of issues with body horror or anything like that, that's what they call a content warning for you guys out there. But check it out. Let's roll it now.
Let's do it.
Gather your party
Gather your party.
before venturing forth. I love that. I love that it's a good tagline that calls back to the old games. Those of you who were playing CRPGs back in the day, or even just some of the enhanced editions that Baldur's Gate, that Beamdog has been putting out, will know and love that phrase, because every single time you went to a new screen or a new area, and your party was split up, it would say over and over again, "Gather your party before venturing forth."
And that was an excellent time to go and play BG 1 and 2 if you have not done so. Get caught up on the story, get caught up on the lore.
Yeah, for sure. There is a lot there, as well as you should listen to Dragon Talk.
That too.
And get all the lore you should know kind of bits that we'll be parsing out over the next few months. And I do want to tell you when the enhanced editions of Baldur's Gate and a whole bunch of other games will be coming to consoles, as Pelham had mentioned. It is on September 24th. This year in North America, not this month at all. In fact, I was lying when I said that. September 24th for the all the titles except for Neverwinter Nights Enhanced Edition, which will be on December 3rd. So you'll be able to get Baldur's Gate Siege of Dragonspear, Baldur's Gate 2, Planescape Torment, Icewind Dale, all on September 24th. There'll be physical copies at major retailers, as well as being able to download directly to your consoles. So check that out. They do great work. They brought those games, so BG 1 and 2, you don't necessarily have to play them with 1999 programming, tech, and UI. They do bring it up to at least a playable standard for modern televisions for all things. And I think the console edition is going to make it even easier to play couch co-op and that type of thing.
Big fan of that.
Yeah. Yeah, you do. You've been playing a lot of...
I've been playing Divinity 1 and 2 with my wife, doing couch co-op on the PS4. It's been a ton of fun.
What's that like?
It's good. It's really deep tactical combat. It's awesome. We both kind of have our main character, and then we each have kind of a pawn that follows that main character. So when we get into combat, I take 2 turns, she takes 2 turns. It's a ton of fun. You can teleport to where the other person is in case you want to split up and explore separately. There's just it's a lot of fun as a couch co-op game, and there are not enough of those in the world these days.
Is it split screen?
It is split screen.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's you can either force the split screen all the time, which is what we do, because it gets a little bit jarring when it switches between. If you're all on the same screen, it'll kind of meld together.
I see.
You can each go off and have separate dialogues at the same time.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
You can go talk to different people concurrently, which is awesome. But there's a lot of stealth mechanics too, where you'll have one of your party members talking to somebody, and then you'll split off, and another person goes and sneaks behind and pickpockets them or steals stuff from the store. It's a ton of fun.
That is cool.
I highly recommend it. Nice.
Well, and Lariana did a great job with both of those games. People have always said they were a spiritual successor to the Baldur's Gate kind of series of isometric RPGs, and it made perfect sense to partner with them for this stuff.
Super excited about that.
Yeah, they have been, as we said, hard at work making it a lot more interesting. So of course, it's not going to be just like Divinity. It's going to have a lot more. D&D flavored mechanics and spells.
Bringing 5th Ed into the mix now.
Yeah, and the way we're saying is that it's based on 5th edition mechanics and spells. It'll never be a one-to-one kind of representation of what 5th edition is like, but it takes the current game of Dungeons & Dragons that you love playing and we love showcasing here on the D&D Twitch channel and translates it into a video game. We're using all of the both the limitations and the amazing things that technology and digital play can do.
So you don't need to learn Thaco for this one.
Is that how you pronounce it? Thaco?
Yeah, we're going with it.
I always thought it was Thaco. Like an A. Thaco.
Good. Yeah. I don't know. We'll let chat weigh in.
Yeah, right. It's like GIF. Everyone says GIF because that's the correct way to say it.
I agree with you on that one.
Phew, that was close. Yeah. We just got to get Bart Carroll in here so he can disagree with everything
That's
I
true.
say.
Yep.
Because he's probably like, no, it's Jif. Like the peanut butter.
Bart would say Jeff.
He would say Jif.
say
Isn't
Jeff.
that true?
Didn't the creator say it was Jif?
The creator's wrong.
No, the creator is definitely wrong. Yeah.
I think he did say it was Jif.
I don't think the creator can say the rules of the English language.
Oh, okay. Fair
Right? So when you're the hard G is the name of my autobiography. So, Cinderflame believes you. She says, or they say, Thaco.
Thaco.
Thaco. Yeah, that's different. I'm sorry, just reading through the chat here.
Greg, no, that is
That's a very
always an
common
applicable statement.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and Brian says acronyms don't follow language rules. I mean, I guess that's true, but also you're wrong. Wait, NATO? Well, yeah, you're right. I guess that would be NATO. That's the way I pronounce NATO whenever I'm playing Twilight Struggle. I'm like, I'm gonna play some NATO on your Russian. Oh, never mind. I know. Way to yuck their yum. I know. I don't usually like doing that. You're right. Uncanny Pally. Also, I really like your username, so I'm going to say that as often as possible. Did I say that right? I don't know. How do you say the shortening of Paladin to? I've always said Pally.
Pally. Yeah.
Pally. Yeah, that makes sense. All right.
Paley.
Pele.
Paladin.
Paladin. Oh my gosh! Now I want to make a character.
Pele the Paladin.
Yeah, that
Yep.
is, the weapon of choice is a improvised round bouncy ball.
Might have some black and white octagons on there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can see where you're going with this.
Here's a thing that I just randomly popped in my brain when you said hectagons on a sphere. So I don't know if this. I think this was when I was working with Brian on some stuff we did for Goodman Games during the 4th edition era of Dungeons and Dragons. We created some classes and we ran some games at Gen Con in promotion of those books. And this was Tavis Allison's idea, one of the co-writers of that book, but we had a soccer ball that he had spray painted silver, and it was a kind of like a magical orb was the name of what we call it in the story. And the big bad used this in the final encounter and created a magical spell that made everyone be attracted to this ball. So the idea was like, all the party will just, glom onto it and he can do whatever he wanted to do. But the way we mechanically did, we had ticky-tacky, just like the stuff that's behind you there, and we put it on each of the minis, and the hectagons, it is hectagons, right? Sure. I think they are 5 size. Anyway, each one of those was a square in the 4th edition grid mechanics.
Nice.
And so we basically had
Did a hex crawl on a soccer ball?
Yes,
That's
exactly.
awesome.
And they changed all of the to make it a 3D sphere that we were playing on. We were pushing and pulling and doing all the rules that we did with 4th edition. It was very cool. And more I want more people to be able to do that. And then I think
Yeah, I really like that.
Nobody really kind of took that up, but I did see that Mike Krahulik from Penny Arcade did something similar. Again, it just kind of was in the same vein, and it wasn't the exact same thing, but he did, and he because he's an artist, painted everything and made it look like planets and things that they were on.
Nice.
But it was also a very cool idea. I love taking the idea of what is usually a 2-dimensional grid for things and making it 3-dimensional.
3rd dimension, yeah.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Yeah. And then, it was another inspiration for doing all the Dwarven Forge stuff at D&D Live.
Yeah, we've got that table on its way.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
It's here in Seattle somewhere.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out how to fit an 18-foot table into a 20-foot studio. So that's a challenge.
We'll hang it from the ceiling.
There we go.
It'll be easy. One thing that's hopefully to come with this setup here in the Wizards of the Coast office, we are in a, glorified conference room.
Yeah, it's an old office.
It's an old office. It has been turned into a studio for our purposes, but we might knock down some of these walls and make it into one larger studio in which we'd be able to fit a table of that size.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
the plan, at least. And now that we've said it on camera, it has to be true.
It has to be true. But I haven't given any time limit, so in the future, it will occur.
There we go.
Perhaps.
TM.
Soon.tm. And then, we're using that table. It can be a display for products and things like that.
Yeah, it was so cool to have the awesome Dwarven Forge set up at the Descent. But I can see us using that for many and sundry things.
Many and sundry. Not geek and sundry, but many and sundry.
Many and sundry. Starting our own brand.
Exactly. Because I have some other fun things to
Some more
show
show
and
and
tell, our friends at Wormwood made some amazing products for the D&D Live, The Descent, and this was one of them. It comes in their amazing box, as they are wont to do. I feel like the boxes...
They're good at boxes.
Yeah, really, they really are.
The business of boxes.
The business... We should do a whole podcast on the business of boxes. But this was my fun takeaway, was the actual D&D Live 2019, The Descent Dice Vault. It looks good.
Super cool. I love the ones they did with the Infernal script on there as well.
I know.
Those are amazing.
I did want those too, but there was something about having it be the name of the event. And I haven't put any dice in here yet, but I need to. And then they do the... I just like that sound.
Yeah,
that sound is so good, right?
Satisfying.
When I'm dungeon mastering, I'm always like...
That's good podcasting.
That's good. That's good audio. Oh, yeah, it's so good. What does it feel like when the lock you're trying to pick clicks open?
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, that's a good click.
That's a tool for your DM's improv kit there.
Yeah, right. Or if they're traveling by horse, sounded just like a horse, right?
What was that horse Shelley's afraid of? Fury?
Fury. Oh wow, that's a callback. Yeah, I know, right?
didn't know
What is
there
that?
was a-
2 years ago?
I think I missed that one.
Yeah, that
Shelley's
was
afraid
when,
of a horse.
Yeah, there was a horse that she rode in the... I'm going to say the Cayman Islands, but it wasn't. It was like some island thing that was like trying to bite her or something like that.
Oh, no.
And then some fan created a Twitter account that was Fury the Horse. There was, but like always threatening to Shelley, like, I'm coming after you. So if you're listening and or watching, fan, please, I feel like,
What happened to that account? We gotta get that going.
yeah, Fury needs to come back. Make it happen.
Might make my own if it's available.
Yeah. It's out there. I like it. Maybe that's why Shelley is being detained right now. Fury finally got her. Oh, I hope you're okay, Shelley. One other fun thing. I'm just looking at random things that I can show that I brought in front of me. I didn't realize about this. I've been playing a lot of Magic Arena lately, and my favorite deck that does really well is an Is It deck. So those of you who have played any Guildmaster Guide to Ravnica or know about what's happening on that plane in Magic the Gathering, this guy is named Ral Zarek. And he is a member of the Is It League, and he can create all kinds of wonderful spells of electricity and magic, and the deck that I have is amazing. But for Pride Month this year, we have been showcasing his character because he has been in a relationship with Tomic, who is a member of the Orzhov. And I like that this is on here because there's a lot of things about it being the worst kept secret on Ravnica. But it's not because they are in a same-sex relationship. The secret that they need to keep is because they're both high-ranking members of different guilds on Ravnica, and that is the potential scandal. And I really like the way that the story team on Magic has been playing with that, and it's really awesome. So, and as someone who plays this Planeswalker a lot in a deck, and as someone who up until recently, I got a haircut, had hair that was very similar to Ral Zarek's. Not necessarily in this picture, but there is a lot of pictures here in the office where his hair goes up a little bit. And I remember when I started seeing a lot of that image, I was like, oh man, I feel attacked. He also has gray streaks in his hair too, which also makes me feel attacked.
If you know of any other characters that look like Greg, please tweet them at him.
Someone, and was it yesterday, did some Messi, Lionel Messi. Those of you who follow the sports as well as the football may know that name. And I always point it out to my wife. She's like, you don't look like him. And then I'm like, yeah, but what about this picture with his mouth open and he's yelling? And she's like, oh yeah, no, I can see that.
Yeah, the classic Greg pose, mouth
Yeah.
open and yelling. Yeah,
It looks like the cover. I don't know if this might be no one on this chat will know, but I think it was like the 2009 or 2008 cover of FIFA has Lionel Messi doing like his open face thing, and the way it is shown on the cover, he makes him look even more like me. And so much so that when I was traveling a lot, when I was doing game journalism stuff, someone in an airport actually was like, "I love your work with the football," and I was like, "Wait, what?"
You didn't go with it?
I did for a second, and then I was like, "Oh wait, no, I'm
This kid
not
as well.
him." Yeah, thank you, but I don't know why I'm thanking you. But okay, goodbye. For one and only time. Now, who knows if that will occur anymore? But I do travel a lot, and I'm going to E3 very soon, which is tomorrow. Actually, is when I'll be heading there to talk all about Baldur's Gate 3 with a whole bunch of fun folks, including Mike Merles and Sven from Larian. So we are making the rounds, trying to talk up this partnership as much as possible. So look for more interviews and articles with more information on that game and the partnership to be coming out. We'll be on a bunch of live shows in the coming weeks or coming week. The first one being from YouTube Gaming with Jeff Keighley. That is on Sunday, I believe at 11:44. I should have brought in my schedule. Not my schedule, but my schedule.
You said it, I heard it.
Dang it! Sorry. I'm so sorry, Lisa. I'm sorry. I apologize.
He said it.
I know, I did say it. So that's 11:44 a.m. on Sunday.
Very specific.
It is very specific. They have it mapped out to the minute. We'll see how close maybe they're they've got a lot more people behind the cameras than just you.
That's
Callum.
true. And I'm not even behind the camera.
You're right. I'm in front of the camera and still running things. They don't have people doing that. Right?
Yeah,
Jeff
probably not
Keighley
either.
doesn't do that. He
No,
doesn't have like
no,
buttons
they're-
where he's like making things go.
They're not real professionals.
Not like we are.
are.
That's a good point. It's not like he's been doing it for decades or anything. Yeah. We're dunk. So anyway, watch that. And then we'll be at the PC Gamer show on Monday. And the IGN bit they're doing from their studio. I believe that is on here. I'm trying to find it, and my thing is being annoying. Sorry, that is on Wednesday, and as well as GameSpot is also on Wednesday.
Oh, cool.
Maybe I should
You're
share
kind of
this.
busy E3.
Yeah, it's a very busy E3, and that's not even counting all the stuff that's not going to be on camera and live. I printed out a document that feels like it was this thick from the folks at 360 PR who's been helping us book all those things. So shout out to Sheila Hughes and Stacy Clement who has been putting all that fun stuff together. PR people don't get enough shout outs, so I'm doing it now.
That's true. Great people.
Right?
Love working with them. Yeah.
Weren't they fantastic at
Always fantastic.
at D&D Live?
Yeah.
Helping out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Helping out with all the things. And they organized a fantastic press day at D&D Live this year. So many thanks for that.
You do good work, peeps. And they're doing it for next week at E3. So again, we'll see all that fun stuff and hopefully more coverage. I know there's lots of questions out there about what's happening with the game, and hopefully many of those things will be mentioned, but not that we're going to still hold a lot back because we want you to be surprised when more and more information about the story and what's happening in the game becomes apparent. But I will say you will at least learn a little bit more about what's happening in the trailer because I know a lot of people have asked about it. A lot of people have been like, "What? That's not how a Mind Flayer is made." So you'll find out a little bit more about the background about all that fun stuff over the course of the next week, which should be great. And I do want to just reiterate that Mike Merles and the story team here at Dungeons & Dragons have been working with Larian for a long time. So there's synergies, so many synergies between what we're doing with Baldur's Gate, Descent into Avernus, as well as what's happening with BG3.
Greg just did this motion, and it made me think of two Mind Flayers kind of conjoining tentacles to make something horrible and awesome happen.
Is that like what happens in Avatar?
Yeah, I guess it is. It's been a while since I've seen Avatar, though.
I don't know why Avatar's come up recently a lot.
Yeah,
People
we
were just
we
talking
talked
about it
for a
yesterday.
while, yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, oh, you know what? It was because Shauna had seen it
That's
recently,
true.
and she
Yep.
was wanting our opinions. It's like she had just seen it. It's like, Shauna, that came
been a
out 10
decade,
years
yeah.
ago. Get with the program. But that's why we love her. But I do want to point out, and I mentioned this on the Twitters this morning, but a fan finally did discover that we were using an image from the Baldur's Gate 3 trailer, which we just showed you at D&D Live 2019. It is one of the first, I think.
The opening pan over of Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, but and to my knowledge, that is the first representation of what the city of Baldur's Gate looks like in 3D.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, we have been using Baldur's Gate as a setting here in the Forgotten Realms, as well as the video games, but they just didn't have the technology or the detail, at least given to an image that was like a landscape of what the entire city looked like. And I was so excited when I first saw that image. It was in one of the rough cuts of the trailer that I had seen a month or two ago, but it was one of the ones that had actually been, the CGI on it had been complete. And I showed it to folks here in the office, and they were immediately like, "Oh my gosh, can we get that as a spread in Baldur's Gate: Descent into Avernus?" Because it's such a great representation of what the city looks like. So we're going to try and do that. I'm not sure if that's possible. And then I was like, "Yeah, of course we can throw that," because I don't think anyone's going to make the connection of it being, "Oh, that looks really good," to it must be a video game. But I knew that now retroactively people could be like, "Oh, wait a second." And so kudos to, and I want to give a shout out to the Twitter handle who discovered it. If I can get my computer to work, which it never does. You're doing all the things wrong, computer. Yes, Gillian de Nueher. I'm sure I'm mangling that name as well, but Gillian DN on Twitter. Shout out to you, sir, for discovering, or at least being the first person to point it out to me. Maybe many of you also discovered that, but just put that filed away into your brain pan. But yeah, it's great, and we can't wait to show more and more about all that fun stuff within the Dungeons and Dragons books, as well as our partnership with Larian.
Lots more to come.
There is so much more to come, like thousands of bits of information to come when you download that game.
So much.
So Pelham, you and I feel like we talked a lot about a lot of stuff. What's going on in your world, Pelham?
In my world, I've been binge watching Deadwood lately.
Oh,
Yeah, I didn't catch it the first time around.
I didn't either.
But yeah, I've spent the last 2 weeks. I'm almost done with the main series, so I can get caught up on the movie now. But yeah, that's been a super good series. I would recommend it for fans of Western type stories.
Yeah. Anything you can mine there for D&D stories? Just a lot of swearing.
A lot of swearing. A lot of swearing. They do a great job of taking kind of characters from actual history and making them feel like fully realized and fleshed out characters, which has been really cool. So they've got Wild Bill Hickok and Calamity Jane and people like that, but they really make you feel, they're not caricatures.
Fully fleshed out.
Fully fleshed out, yeah. So yeah, that's mostly what I've been doing lately.
Sweet.
In
I know
my spare time.
You're planning some fun stuff for next Tuesday.
Yeah, next Tuesday we're gonna play some games in a show we are tentatively calling Pelham Green's Hot Mess. So we've
That name has shifted like 4 times in the last 24 hours.
Yeah, it was gonna be Pelham's Games Show, which is just an auditory nightmare on purpose. But yeah, we're gonna get together with some folks from the D&D staff next week and do a Dungeon Mayhem tournament. So it should be exciting. We're going to take over Greg's news slot starting at 3 p.m. So yeah, tune in 3 p.m. next Tuesday and watch Pelham Green's Hot Mess. But yeah, going forward on Tuesdays, starting after D&D news, we're going to be playing some board games with some folks around the office and some special guests we'll bring in. So looking forward to that. Might do some Betrayal sometime soon. So that'll be fun.
As Shelley has said, it might be the only way we'll finish our Betrayal
That's
Legacy board game.
We started that in February.
Yeah,
and we got
There's been a lot of
things
happening.
A lot of busy times.
Yeah, but we're like 6 sessions in.
Something
I think.
like that.
Yeah. So it's not like we haven't done anything, but it does feel like
been a while.
Yeah. So yeah, that'd be exciting.
Yeah.
Of course, there is spoilers for that too, so we don't necessarily go start from there. But
yeah, I was thinking maybe Betrayal at Baldur's Gate would be
that's a good idea.
Appropriate.
That's a fantastic idea. Yeah. See, this is why the Hot Mess is such a good idea.
Yeah.
What?
Is it on the schedule?
It is on the schedule, Ryan Marth. who wants to say
Ryan's saying the
sketchy.
forbidden word in our ears right now.
I know, right? No one can still
No
hear
one
you,
can
right?
hear.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've ever actually heard Ryan in my ears.
Oh my gosh.
I don't get it. Yeah, it's just for you and Shelly.
Interesting. What does it feel like?
Violating.
Especially when he says things like sketchy in your ears, and you're like,
true.
no, I don't
You
want to
said
say it
it.
out
You
loud.
said it.
Dang it. I'm so sorry, Lisa.
We need to take the dice out of this and make it like a sketchy jar. I said it now.
No. I feel like anytime we say sketchy, we have to like put $1 into the jar, and then we'll donate it
Lisa
to
gets
Extra
it.
Life. Yeah, and then we'll give it to Lisa. Be like, we're so sorry, Lisa. It's not my fault. I feel like Ryan now just wants to get me to say it, which is a terrible thing. Terrible. And I always do. I know. But it is on the schedule.
That's true.
Pelham's Hot Mess.
Yeah.
We'll be doing that. I won't be doing D&D News tomorrow or next week because I'll be
definitely not
in
tomorrow.
Los Angeles. Definitely not tomorrow because I'll be flying. We'll be back up with that the following week. But we will transition into doing some fun, kind of a grab bag of different games, some one-shot D&D.
Yeah, potentially. Maybe even some video games thrown in there. You never know what's going to be in the hot mess.
It's very aptly named for that reason.
Can do whatever I want.
It's true. That should be fun. What video games do you want to play?
I don't know. Maybe some Divinity. Could be fun. But yeah, we've also got all the wonderful game from Beamdog. There's Neverwinter we could throw in the mix.
Yeah.
There's some stuff we could do.
Neverwinter's got an awesome update with Undermountain.
Undermountain, yes.
It's out there now. People can check it. It's got 5 new zones.
It's their biggest update yet, right?
Right. Lots of changes to the different class system and all that, which is a great time to jump in. And if you haven't played it, you should. It's a 3D action MMO in the world of the Forgotten Realms. Obviously, it's called Neverwinter, so a lot of the early levels are centered in that city, but they go to many different areas, including Chult, the Frozen North with the Sea of Moving Ice that they did for Storm King's Thunder. I think they went to the Underdark. They've gone to other areas, including
Ravenloft, I think.
Ravenloft, as well as
Barovia,
Waterdeep, I
yeah.
think, too. A grab bag, and then now, of course, they're delving underneath Waterdeep into Undermountain with dramatizing some of the areas below the city that you can explore.
So free to play on PC and consoles. Head to neverwintergame.com and check it out.
Look at you doing. You see, you
Getting
just
the plug
rattled
in
it
there.
off.
Yeah,
Right from memory.
I've been listening to this for years, so it's
You're like, I finally got my chance. That's it.
do a plug of my own.
Shelley should never go near the top of any stairs at any moment. It's going to be a showgirls moment, I'm pretty sure.
Coming for you, Shelly.
Yeah, you didn't know what I was going with. You're like, what are you
No.
talking about with the
I don't think I've
stairs?
actually seen Showgirls. I'll
Good
go
for
with
you.
it.
Good for you. That's probably for the best. Yeah, it is Pelham's time to shine. OG Milder says, "Will there be graphics? What graphics? What are you talking about as far as the graphics goes? Oh, for the hot mess, as in like, will there be a logo? Pelham's been asking.
Yeah, I'll probably do something awful in Photoshop, and that will also be a hot mess in itself. So hot mess all the way down.
Yes, there shall be lots of hot mess. Maybe we should crowdsource it and get the
Ooh, I like
the
that.
chat to come up with the logo.
Yeah. Let me know at me what you think the logo for my hot mess should be.
Slide into Pelham's DMs
Yeah,
and
get right into those DMs, and we'll talk about my hot mess.
I feel like you verged into
This doesn't
some
sound
Shveddy balls.
good anymore,
You're a little bit. Yeah, that sounds great. We went into the NPR
So tune in Tuesday for Pelham's differently named show.
differently named show. D&D Twitch plays Dungeon Mayhem. Oh, that's actually not a bad idea,
that.
Hannah. I really like that because I. 'Cause there isn't that much, so you could show the cards and like, what should I play? And then
Yeah.
Twitch chooses. With a game like that, it is enough fast pace where that might slow it down a little bit, but it's,
Yeah,
could be fun.
that could work.
Yeah.
We could try it.
We'll do that with something more complex. I think Lisa just wants the logo to be you're with the glasses.
Okay, done. We've got that one.
Ether Dark says their 4-year-old is still beating the whole family at Dungeon Mayhem. So maybe you got a ringer that we could bring
Sounds
in.
like it, yeah.
Yeah, we'll bring in some
Yeah, we'll get a booster seat in the studio. It'll be good.
Kids playing the Mayhems is going to be the thing to do. Well, you are all. I know it really did go off the rails there, Cinderflame. You are correct. We are going to close this little banter portion down. We were going to get White Rabbit pick on the Twitters up.
The Alice Cleaver.
Alice Cleaver, yes, I remembered her Twitter handle. She's from the Straticus Academy group. They do lots of RPG stuff, and I can't wait to pick her brain about dungeon mastering as well as playing on all of the role-playing game live streams that they do there. That's coming up next. And then after that, I will be talking to Jeremy Crawford from 2 to 3 p.m. We will be doing the intros and outros to Dragon Talk for next week's episode then, and as well as asking him about what it was like to be honored as a outstanding voice at the Puget Sound Business Journal Business of Pride event last night. And that's always great. Jeremy's a good person to talk to. We may try to sneak in a sage advice, but I'm not holding my breath on that one since they usually go longy. Yes, and DC Lazare, yes. The secret is we never had any rails.
True.
It's true. There's no actual plan in place here. We go off it pretty regularly. But thanks, guys, for being with us for our weirdness.
Yeah, whatever this was.
Yes, whatever this was. It was a chance to chat.
I like it.
We don't get to talk that often,
That's
pal.
true. That's true. Got to get in front of the cameras to do it.
That's right. Well, thank you for jumping in
Thank you
and
for having
pressing
me.
all the buttons that needed to be pressed. Any last words before we, murder you?
Watch my hot mess on Tuesday, 3 p.m. Pacific.
Nice.
Twitch.tv/D&D.
That's like the best pitch you could ever get. Watch my hot mess. It's happening. Oh yeah, and then watch the Baldur's Gate theory. Speaking of
That too.
trailer, thinking of hot messes.
Well, I'm going to press one more button, and let's get our guest on the line.
Let's do it. All right, thanks guys. We'll be back in just a couple minutes.